Welcome to Immigration Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: number of foreign residents in Japan rises to record 3.2 million. Van crowded with migrants crashes in Germany, killing 7. The apps and accounts I use to teach my children about money. Afghans waiting to come to Canada alarmed as Pakistan again threatens deportations. Macron charts controversial path for French referendum on immigration. Number of foreign residents in Japan rises to record 3.2 million. Japan Times. The number of foreign nationals residing in Japan has reached a record high of over 3.2 million in 2023, according to government data. This increase is attributed to the growing demand for workers in Japan's labor market. The number of specified skilled workers and trainees in the country has also seen significant growth. Van crowded with migrants crashes in Germany, killing 7. New York Times. A van carrying 22 migrants crashed following a high-speed police chase on a highway near Germany's southern border, killing 7 people and injuring 16 others. The migrants, who all carried Turkish or Syrian papers, were attempting to enter the country. German immigration authorities have noticed an increasing number of migrants entering the country in vans and trucks. The crash occurred on a road known for trafficking. The driver, a stateless man living in Austria, was taken to hospital, then arrested by police. The local state attorney's office is considering manslaughter charges. The apps and accounts I use to teach my children about money. The Sydney Morning Herald. The move towards a cashless society raises concerns about how children can be taught about money and the importance of saving. However, a mixture of physical and virtual money is recommended, with the use of transactional apps such as Spriggy, which allows parents to top up a digital wallet and transfer money to designated accounts for their children. Other options include youth savings accounts, which offer teaching tools and technology, and the Raiz app, which facilitates investment by rounding up purchases on a designated card. Afghans waiting to come to Canada alarmed as Pakistan again threatens deportations. CBC. The United Nations International Organization for Migration, IOM, has warned Afghan migrants in Pakistan to inform their hotels of their whereabouts when they go out, as Pakistan threatens to deport or jail undocumented migrants from November 1. The UN's migration agency has expressed concern about the status of Afghans in Pakistan following Islamabad's threat of mass deportations. Pakistan has seen an influx of Afghans fleeing Afghanistan since the Taliban takeover in August 2021. The country estimates that around 1.4 million Afghans live within its borders. Macron charts controversial path for French referendum on immigration. RFI. France's minority government has struggled to find support for its bill to speed up the process of legalizing some undocumented foreigners, while also making it easier to deport others. Left-wing lawmakers, including from Macron's own Renaissance group in parliament, have banded together to demand that future immigration policy prioritizes illegal workers in frontline sectors suffering labor shortages such as the construction, hospitality, and service industries. Parties on the right and far right, however, have rejected this and are insisting that migration issues be put to a referendum. Credit card fees explained, 8 types you should know. Yahoo! A recent Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, report revealed Americans paid an average of $1,000 annually in credit card interest and fees from 2018 to 2020. To help you avoid these costs, Forbes Advisor explains the most common fees and how they work. First, annual fees. These are charged by some card companies as a condition of card ownership, and can range from $95 to several $100s. Cards such as Chase Freedom Unlimited and Wells Fargo Active Cash, however, have no annual fees. Second, balance transfer fees. If you want to switch to a card with low or no interest on a transferred balance, you'll likely have to pay a fee. This usually ranges between 3% and 5% of the balance you transfer. However, some cards, like Wells Fargo Reflect and Bank Americard Credit Card, offer the longest introductory 0% APR periods for balance transfers, at 21 months, with fees of 5% and 3% respectively. Third, late fees. These can be charged if you miss a payment or fail to make the minimum payment on your due date. While some cards, such as Citi Simplicity Card and Apple Card, do not charge a late fee, others can charge up to $41. Fourth, interest fees. If you fail to pay off your balance in full by your payment due date, you'll be charged interest which depends on your credit card's annual percentage rate and the balance you're carrying over from month to month. Finally, foreign transaction fees are charged for purchases made outside the US or from a foreign merchant, but many companies offer cards with no foreign transaction fees. Smartphones have turbocharged the danger of porn. Wall Street Journal. The advent of smartphones and easy access to online pornography has led to widespread addiction and harmful effects, particularly among young people. Research has shown that pornography users can experience loss of control, difficulties in sexual functioning, and negative consequences for relationships and other areas of life. Compulsive sexual behavior and pornography addiction have been found to have similar neurological effects on the brain as drug addiction. Pornography addiction is now prevalent among young people, with a survey finding that 20% of respondents aged 14 to 18 described themselves as having a porn habit. The technology of online porn also incentivizes the production of extreme and violent material, with studies showing that as much as 90% of online pornography features violence towards women. This has led to an increase in violent sexual behavior among young people, with choking during sex and non-consensual violence becoming prevalent. Men who consume pornography also suffer from anxiety, low self-esteem, and reduced sexual satisfaction, as well as an increase in erectile dysfunction. Concerns about pornography are growing, with lawsuits and legislation being introduced to address the issue. However, there is still a debate about the trade-off between freedom and the public interest in regulating pornography. Are growing asylum claims putting Germany under pressure? Deutsche Welle. Germany's municipalities are struggling to cope with the influx of refugees and asylum seekers, with many reaching their limit due to a lack of suitable housing and insufficient funding. The German government recently offered €1.7 billion, $1.79 billion, in 2024 for accommodation, food, and integration purposes, which is a decrease in funding from 2023. Gerd Landsberg, head of the German Association of Towns and Municipalities, said this is not enough, and more regulation, limitations, and fair distribution across Europe are needed. 7 dead as minibus believed to be smuggling migrants overturns in Germany. Telegraph. A minibus carrying migrants crashed in Germany while trying to evade a road check, resulting in the deaths of 7 people, including a child. The vehicle, which had 23 people inside, lost control and flipped over several times before landing on its side. Authorities believe that a people smuggler was driving the minibus and have opened a criminal investigation into the incident. The passengers are said to be Syrian and Turkish nationals, with the driver described as stateless. India will use Pakistan World Cup clash to flex political muscle to the world. Telegraph. The India-Pakistan cricket match at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad on October 24 is being used for political ends, according to an op-ed in The Independent. The article argues that the match is being held at the stadium in order to enhance the myth of Modi's invincibility and to show the Pakistan Cricket Board and the wider Pakistani establishment who is boss. The Narendra Modi Stadium was previously known as the Motera Stadium, but the Gujarat Cricket Association renamed it in honor of the Indian Prime Minister. The article claims that the cricket match will be used to reinforce the ideology of Hindu nationalism and to mark the Muslim, whether Indian or Pakistani, as the permanent foe. The article also highlights the lack of good relations between the two countries, with visa delays preventing many Pakistan fans and journalists from attending the match. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world. Today, I bring you a roundup of some interesting news stories from around the globe. First, we have Japan, where the number of foreign residents has reached a record high. It seems that Japan's labor market is in need of workers, leading to an influx of foreign nationals. I guess you could say they're becoming more open to the idea of foreign hands on deck. Next, we have a tragic incident in Germany, where a van carrying migrants crashed during a police chase. This highlights the dangerous and desperate lengths some people are willing to go to in search of a better life. It's a heartbreaking reminder of the challenges faced by migrants around the world. On a lighter note, we have an interesting article from the Sydney Morning Herald about teaching children about money in an increasingly cashless society. It seems that a mix of physical and virtual money is recommended, with the use of transactional apps and youth savings accounts. Who knew that teaching kids about money could be as simple as a tap on a screen? Moving on to Afghanistan, we have concerns about the status of Afghan migrants in Pakistan. With Islamabad threatening mass deportations, the United Nations International Organization for Migration is urging Afghan migrants to be cautious and inform their hotels of their whereabouts. It's a reminder of the challenges faced by displaced people in the region. In France, President Macron is charting a controversial path for a referendum on immigration. It seems that the government is struggling to find support for its bill, with left-wing lawmakers pushing for prioritizing illegal workers in sectors suffering labor shortages. Meanwhile, parties on the right and far right are calling for a referendum on migration issues. It's a hot topic that is sure to spark some fiery debates. Credit card fees are the subject of our next story. A recent report reveals that Americans are paying an average of $1,000 annually in credit card interest and fees. It's a reminder to be mindful of the fine print when it comes to credit cards. But hey, at least some cards offer no annual fees and long introductory 0% APR periods for balance transfers. Every little bit helps, right? Now, let's talk about smartphones and the danger of porn. The easy access to online pornography has led to widespread addiction and harmful effects, particularly among young people. It's a serious issue that is raising concerns about the impact on relationships and mental health. But don't worry, folks, I'm not here to judge your browsing history. Just remember to keep it in moderation, like everything else in life. Germany is also facing pressure due to growing asylum claims. Municipalities are struggling to cope with the influx of refugees and asylum seekers, citing a lack of suitable housing and insufficient funding. It's a challenging situation that calls for more regulation, limitations, and fair distribution across Europe. Let's hope they find a solution that benefits everyone involved. Lastly, we have a cricket match between India and Pakistan that is being used for political ends. According to an op-ed, the match is being held at a stadium named after the Indian Prime Minister to enhance his image and assert dominance over Pakistan. It's a reminder of the complex relationship between these two countries and the role that sports can play in politics. Well, there you have it, folks. A diverse range of news stories from around the world. Now, it's time for your thoughts. What do you make of these stories? Do you have any questions or comments? I'm here to discuss, so let's hear what you have to say. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.